approached by a investigator named Tim. He has been looking into the case of Sharron Phillips for the last 5 years, and it was a cold case up until recently, where a gentleman came forward, and it turned out that everything he said was lies, basically, in a podcast. He approached us, as we usually the type of channel that would do parody skits, laugh about, joke, and so on. Basically go over old cases, and I don't know, odd jokes would be thrown in there somewhere. Basically this is going to be a no joke zone. It is serious and to the point. We want to make people aware and basically see if anyone will actually come forward for this. So basically this is the case of Sharron Phillips, and it's the cover-up case, and this is what really happened. So Tim has given me a large amount of information about this case. We started speaking. He asked if we could do a video, so we thought we'd do this video for him, in hopes that it would bring people to come forward.
Yeah, it would bring this case back into light.
Yeah, and maybe then people would actually see what really happened and why things were covered up.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to get straight into it, and obviously if anyone does know anything, contact Tim below in the comment section or in the description, whether I'm going to pinpoint it.
We will put the links and everything of all the information down below as well.
Right, so now we're going to get straight into this case, and like I said, dead serious, no joking around, no clowning around. It's going to be straightforward. So, as I said, Tim came to me and spoke to me about this case and asked if myself and Will could do this video. And I said, yeah, we could do this video. We'll put forward the information, and hopefully it reaches the right people and someone can actually come forward and maybe solve this case. So let's begin. We're going to discuss what really happened and the events that was covered up rather quickly in the Sharron Phillips case. Sharron Phillips was only 20 years old when she was last seen, around 11 PM on Saturday, May the 8th, 1986. The same day the event, the 49th Battalion Bushman's gun rifle camp, was held.
Yeah.
Sharron's yellow Datsun Bluebird sedan ran out of petrol at the divide between Ipswich and Brisbane on the motorway. She had walked across the motorway to the Wacol Army Barracks in need of a phone. Obviously on this date, the 49th Battalion Bushman's gun rifle event was taking place, right? Yet allegedly, soldiers met her and told her no phones was present at an army base.
Okay.
Doesn't make sense. Doesn't make sense. I mean, she ran out of petrol, she was obviously in need of help, and these army soldiers said there's no phones present. At an army barracks, where there's communications constantly between people, so they could have got her help, put it that way. So yeah, the event was taking place, and she decided to walk down there and ask for help. After local papers ran a story to mark the 20th anniversary of her disappearance, an anonymous letter was sent to the paper saying Sharron was killed at the 49th Battalion Bushman's gun rifle event as she witnessed strange sex acts and occult acts being, I guess,
performed.
Yeah, I guess performed at the barracks the night she went missing. So all other accounts of her making phone calls to her boyfriend and so on and everything else all seems a bit...
have been falsified in some or some way.
Yeah, I guess we could say that. I mean, to this moment, no one actually knows whether she called her boyfriend, whether she actually made a call to anyone at all. So since then, you cannot find anything online about the 49th Battalion Bushman's gun rifle camp. It has been erased from history due to the powers that was there.
So yeah, just before you get into the next bit. So at the time, they issued a poster or statement across a variety of media profiles, radios, TV, phone,
newspapers,
blah blah blah. And within this poster or advertisement, is basically along the same lines of what we've described.
Yeah.
So it was literally Sharron Phillips with a picture of her 20-year-old female, last seen at 11 p.m. on the 8th of May 1986 at a telephone box near Wacol railway station after her yellow Datsun Bluebird sedan had run out of petrol on the Ipswich Road. She had not been heard from since that time, and her body has yet not been recovered. And they did at the time issue a £250,000 reward or dollar reward for any leads locating her or her body. Like, yeah, and any information that would lead to the capture or of whoever done.
Yeah. Got anything else to add?
It's only about the Wacol Army camp.
Okay. So I'll go through this bit and you can do that bit.
Yeah.
Okay, so basically, the best way to put it was, as I was speaking to Tim more and more, it seemed very much so that the murder was hushed up and subsequently covered up with a fever and audacity by the media and the corrupt officers at the time. It seemed very odd that her disappearance was very plagiarised. It seemed very odd in her stature that she goes to get help from obviously soldiers, and other little bits of information starts coming out of the woodwork, and then it all vanishes again. And that's something that I think the police didn't really pay much attention to, or they literally put out there because it was just pieces of information being thrown at them. Yeah. So the people in attendance at the 49th Battalion Bushman's Rifle Camp were indeed involved in Sharron Phillips' murder, then the cover-up. The main person of interest is Tony Trimboli. He died in 2007 but was present at the event.
At the event,
yeah. Along with Mary Ann Petalshay and Brennan. Young adolescence was also at the camp and barracks Sharron so helplessly walked into. Obviously she wanted help, no help was given. The people who attended would be in their 50s or 60s now, so judging by this they would be accomplices, and I don't know, I think that'd be pretty important to come forward if they were able to watch this video. And they did attend this 49th Battalion Bushman's Gun Rifle Camp event. But it seems that they would be in their 50s or 60s, around now, whether they're alive or not is a different matter.
Mm-hmm.
But they obviously hold important pieces of information, so it's probably best that they do actually come forward with whatever information they've got, because apparently this event never took place on the night of Sharron Phillips' disappearance.
No.
So Tony Trimboli would be a prime suspect for the police to look into. Despite him being dead, he changed his name to Cavarson, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
Now if you want to talk a bit more about the Army Barracks in that area of the Ipswich Road.
Yeah, so the Wacol Army Barracks, or camp, has been in service from 1946 to the mid to late 2000s. And it has been host to army personnel and civilians from training to functions and meetings throughout those years.
Which is very interesting to know.
Yeah. It has also changed its name around the same time as this went on.
Okay.
It was purely because it was declassified as an army installation, and it was more of a civilian army installation.
Okay.
The location is actually quite surprising. It is on one side of the Ipswich Road.
Okay.
And with the aerial photographs and different places, you can see the two entrances.
Okay.
Now, from where her car was to either of the entrances would be a 10-mile round trip.
Interesting. That's a 10-mile walk to the barracks and then back to her car.
5 mile to the barracks.
Okay.
And that's either entrance. So the Australian Army used the camp Columbia site in the late 1945s to demobilise Queensland soldiers returning from the war. But after that, they turned into, as I said, a civilian site where they would still hold training stuff, but it was more of the Australian civilian army at that point.
Okay. So while I was speaking to Tim, and while I was reading through all the other pieces of information, I came across that a soldier had obviously been questioned. Apparently he was overheard bragging he killed a young woman with a knife. He got questioned and nothing ever came of it, which is quite weird, considering she went missing at the same time he starts bragging about it.
Yeah.
So also these other people would be primary persons that the police would need to question, and that's Marianne, Pettelche and Brennan. These are the people alive who was at the attendance in 1986. As these people would be, I don't know, they would be have assisted of her murder or would know of her murder at this time.
Yeah, as you said, they were filling blanks and just provide information. Maybe
just some information that the 49th Battalion Bushman's gun rifle camp actually took place the night Sharron Phillips went missing. That would be more beneficial to anyone. So we're going to carry on with this case. Also, based upon compelling anecdotal information, that there was also off-duty personnel of military and police officers at this event. I would like to add that a gravesite plot identified as David Martin Guay near Talligala Cemetery near the town of Rosewood in the Ipswich area should be checked and regarded as a location of interest, with probability of a huge connection to the death of Sharron Phillips, which I don't think the police have even looked into yet.
Okay.
Also, the Air Force Base at Amberley need to be looked at as well. So if you were going to look for
they were
pieces of information, there
the two barracks were linked.
Yeah. So as I said, he informed me, Tim, of another place that he seems to think that Sharron Phillips' body could be found, and that is at the Gas Stripping Tower, West End, Brisbane. He seems to think the remains and the body could be up there, which could be interesting because they still haven't found the body for this woman.
Yeah. They do say, obviously, that they searched a mine, a concrete well, basically, like a concrete dumping site.
This was to do with the taxi driver, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They said that in this, that a car was speeding, was seen speeding through the quarry road. Now, this, bearing in mind, this is in between the Army Barracks and this quarry.
Yeah.
Heading from the direction of the barracks.
Yeah.
But obviously, the information that's given online has to be taken with a pinch of salt. They haven't got, as we said, the bloke pretty much falsified the whole thing within one podcast that he was on. And so everything online that is linked with this case can be taken as a grain of salt, because we just haven't got the information that we need.
Yeah. Many people noticed actually that the 49th Battalion Bushman's gun rifle camp at these army barracks had been completely removed from history that it even took place. Now, there is other little bits of information that I managed to find along with Tim's help that actually said that it did take place, but they're not having any relevance to do with the Sharron Phillips' case, which I thought was quite weird.
I found little bits about, obviously, because they'd have a bushman's camp get together, basically, every so many years, and this particular one is, as you said, completely gone from history. There was a one before it and the one after it,
but not this one. Now, the people at attendance of this event.
Very high profile people.
So you're thinking of politicians, you're thinking of people that would be like ringleaders. And one of them ringleaders would have been Antonio Tony Trimboli. I mentioned him earlier in the video. He died in 2007, I think I said. Basically, he was a crime ringleader.
Yeah, he was one of the top people in the
Mafia?
Carvarian mafia.
There we go.
That emigrated from Italy in the Carvarian part of the country.
Yeah. Now, he was known for his crime, his antics, and also the fact that
his very wild side.
Yeah. Also, he'd be known to have sex with underage women, or women in that matter of fact, whether they wanted it or not.
Yeah.
He was actually at this event, which is also a cause for concern, considering if a young woman goes in there asking for help, who knows what she may have seen, or whether she left the barracks alive is completely up to speculation at this point.
Yeah.
But I feel that he is obviously one of them prime suspects, and I think that he and some other officials and military personnel and police officers covered up this murder, and it was accomplished very well. So, like I said, there were other people at this event, one of which Tim has actually spoke to, which was Marianne, who also said that she was there at the event but doesn't want to come forward, which is also very strange, but she did conclude that the event did take place. But who knows exactly what went on there, we have no idea. So we believe Sharron Phillips was murdered while requesting help, not what we read online. As we said, don't believe the media in terms of information. As for the taxi drivers, bullshit. It's all lies. Basically, yet again, another cover-up. Because it seems weird that he came forward in 2021 after this event took place, even though allegedly his father passed away and this is what he said on his deathbed and this is exactly what happened. Like, it seems so far-fetched.
History has told us not to believe everything that's said on a deathbed.
So what we believe and know is Sharon's car broke down. Yes, she spent some of her money, well, most of her money, on lingerie and a dress because she was meeting her boyfriend the next night. So she didn't worry so much about petrol, but her car ran out of petrol. She entered the Army Barracks where the 49th Battalion Bushman's air rifle event took place. The same date Sharon was obviously killed. We believe she witnessed some things she probably should never have witnessed, and that's what allegedly got her in trouble. Basically, wrong place, wrong time. Tony Trimboli, a known senior member of the mafia, as you stated, was also there, helped cover up the murder, as did all who attended. So yet again, Sharron Phillips' murder is not solved, which many people seem to believe. So the 49th Battalion Bushman's gun rifle camp took place. Loads of people have attended. Now we need people to step forward. Now we need people to come forward with information at this event and whether Sharron Phillips was actually there. Because now is your perfect time, basically. Instead of all these stupid rumours coming forward, I think you should step forward and basically just say, look, I was there, this happened. It would make sense. And I'm basically speaking to Marianne at this point because I'm sure she'll be watching this video. So if you can, message us or message Tim below. And yeah, we've been the Unsettled, and we hope that this sheds some more light and some new information to those who basically have covered the case before on YouTube, but never notice these fine little details of what happened and how.
No. So yeah, if anyone has any information on the 49th Battalion Bushman's Rifle Camp or any attendants or attendees,
want to step forward,
please step forward. Click on the link below.
Contact him because he's been working on his case for over 5 years, and he feels he's getting so far and then gets pushed back even more. But the event took place. Sharron Phillips went missing and then was murdered. And you need to look into these prime locations I mentioned that Tim forwarded to me.
So even if a grandparent was there, and told you stories about stuff what was going on there,
get talking to them. See if they would actually come forward. See if they listen to this video. Obviously, we reach like a younger audience than 50s and 60s. So, ask your grandparents if they were ever at the 49th Battalion Bushman's gun rifle camp. If you're in that area, obviously, Australia or whatever.
If you're in Wacol,
yeah. Obviously, no point asking them in England. You're not going to get anywhere. But yeah, thanks for watching, and season 3 is coming very soon. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share this video, because the more people that we get to see this video, the better our chances are of someone finally coming forward and helping us and Tim out.